Kamala Harris really kind of lays out the why liberals think the way they do. I'm going to show you these two clips on equity. Equity is the new liberal buzz term for basically communism. It is. It's the idea that everybody should have an equal outcome in life. Now, ladies and gentlemen, outcome is an output, what you put out. Your outcome is you're a CEO or a doctor. That's a result of your output. You did this in school, which led to you getting into medical school, which led to you getting a residency, which led to this. Those variables are the inputs. Those variables are infinite. Work ethic, smarts, sweat equity. Yes, a lot of luck sometimes. People who made their own luck by just taking a lot of chances. Liberals don't want any of that. Liberals hate merit. They hate a meritocracy. Liberals hate the idea of free will. Then liberals want to control everything. Now, when liberals talk about equity, they're not talking about equality. They're talking about equity. What's the difference? Well, let Kamala Harris in these two clips sum it up for you. This is Biden's insurance policy right here. Check this out.
Equality suggests often everybody should get the same thing. Well, that often assumes everybody started out in the same place, as opposed to equity, which is everyone should end up in the same place. And if you then understand not everybody started out in the same place, you understand some people need more. So we all end up in the same place.
Now, clip's from a while ago. It's not from this weekend. But this other one's a little bit more recent on equity. But I want to explain the why here. Do you understand what she's saying? She's saying that everybody should wind up in the same place. Now, the same place she's talking about, we need to be crystal clear on, is not a place of wealth or prosperity. She'll tell you that. Oh, equity, meaning everyone should have a beautiful house and a white picket fence and a dog and 2.15 kids, right? Oh, you should have no kids, the China one-child policy, whatever. But you get the point, not to get off track. That's not what she's talking about. The reality of forced equity on everyone has been shown through history over and over through the implementation of communism to result in what? Starvation and body bags. When you steal from one person to give to another person to level out their outcome and their output, eventually the person who produced due to hard work, who has to give to the person who did nothing, stops producing. And what happens? They both starve. The essence of equity, ironically, of the liberal principle of equity, is that it requires you via government fiat and force to treat people unequally. Because Joe, Guy, and I all have, Guy, you weren't even born here, right? Guy wasn't even, either was Paula. Paula was born in Colombia. So Paula, you factor in the podcast crew, Paula, Guy, me, and Joe. Dramatically different circumstances. Born in different places, in two cases, different countries. Yet it's weird. We're all here in the same spot. Now, we don't all earn the same thing or live in the same house, but we're all here doing the same thing. We came from different circumstances no one can control. What Kamala Harris wants to do is she wants to level out the whole program. And she wants me to produce at 4 o'clock in the morning and split this all 4 ways amongst anyone, which I love my guys. I love my guys. But I think you guys would admit, and I say this with, it's the Don Bongino show. These guys are invaluable, and I treat them as invaluable. But this is the Don Bongino show. Imagine you having the Don Bongino farm, and you're paying some people as farmhands to work for you out there. Yet you were the one who's been invested in this field your entire life, and you now have to give half of it to the guy working in the field who may be young and hasn't worked his way up yet and is saving to buy his own farm. That's it. You're done. The whole principle of communist equity, which is what it is that you have to be treated unequally by the government. You are no longer entitled to the fruits of your own merit and work. Here, one more before I take a break here. Here's Kamala Harris again. It's a little more recent on the idea of equity, which is undoubtedly a communist principle. Take a listen.
We have always fought for equality, but now we are also talking much more rightly about equity. Understanding that we must be clear-eyed about the fact that, yes, we want everyone to get an equal amount. That sounds right. But not everyone starts out from the same place.
Guy said it right here. It's insane, Dan. We have to explain this to people. Do you understand when she says everybody's going to get an equal amount, that so-called equal amount comes from you? The reason some other people don't get an equal amount is, yes, sometimes it's bad luck. But a lot of times it's not. The reason they don't get an equal amount is because they don't put in the equal amount of work. It's as simple as that. So you're going to work harder to give someone else more